Chevra Lomdei Mishnah is the premier source for harnessing the benefits of Torah study and prayer as a source of comfort and merit for the souls of the departed. Our many services include the study of Mishnah and Talmud and the recital of Kaddish and Yizkar. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, a story is priceless. Now, Chevra Lomdei Mishnah presents a series of inspirational stories recounted by the renowned storyteller Rabbi Meir Erbs, which illustrate the power of Torah study and Kaddish recital in accruing merits on behalf of our dear departed loved ones.
A number of years ago, there lived a young man in Israel who passed away, unfortunately, at a young age. He left over a young wife and a young child. And they turned to the child and they said, "Come, let us go to the shul, let us go to the synagogue to say the Kaddish prayer in the merit of your father's soul." But the child refused. He was too embarrassed. Try as they might, they couldn't convince him. Until they decided to take him to the Stipler Gaon. Rabbi Akiva, who was known and revered by all as the Stipler, after the Ukrainian town of his youth, Hornistipel. He was one of the greatest rabbis of his time. They brought the child to the Stipler, and the Stipler turned to the child, and he said to him, "Let me tell you a story. Have you ever heard of the great rabbi, Rabbi Akiva, the Tana, the great sage Rabbi Akiva?" To which the child replied, "Yes, I've heard of him." And he wanted to tell the following story. One day, Rabbi Akiva was walking, and he beheld a sight that he couldn't believe. In front of him was running an unclothed man who was as dark as coal. He was carrying on top of him a load of cut trees, heavy enough for 10 men to carry. And he stopped the man and he asked him, "What are you doing? Where are you going? If you are a slave, I will redeem you. If you're poor, I will give you money." And the man turned to Rabbi Akiva and said, Please do not keep me. Please do not hold me. If I come late, my masters will be terribly upset at me." And Rabbi Akiva asked him, but what are you doing? Where are you going?" And the man replied, and he said, "I am a dead man. Every day they send me from the next world to cut these trees, and I have to bring them back. They throw these trees into the fire, and then they throw me into the fire." Rabbi Akiva was taken aback, and he turned to the man and said, "Why? What did you do so wrong when you were alive in this world that you deserve such a terrible punishment?" To which the man replied, "When I was alive, I was a tax collector, a mean and evil tax collector. I favored the rich and I killed the poor. It is for this reason that it was decreed upon my soul to receive such a punishment." And Rabbi Akiva turned to this man and he said, "But is there a way for you to misaken your neshama, to rectify this terrible life that you lived so that your soul can rest in peace? Is there anything that you can do?" And the man turned to Rabbi Akiva and said, "No, there's nothing I could do. Except for if I would have had a son, a child, that could recite the Kaddish for me, that would be the only way that my soul can rest in peace. But when I died, I left over a wife who was pregnant, and I have no idea what ever became of her or the child for that matter." Rabbi Akiva turned to the man and he said, "Tell me, what is your name? What is your wife's name? From what town are you from? I will search and I will find your wife and I will see if you had a child. And I will teach your child if he does not know how to recite the Kaddish prayer. And I will teach him how to say the Kaddish and he will say it for the merit of your soul." And the man turned to Rabbi Akiva and he said, "My name was Akiva. My wife's name was Shushbina, and I came from the town of Lidkiah. That's all Rabbi Akiva needed to hear. Rabbi Akiva went and he found the town of Lidkiah, and he stopped the first person he saw, and he asked him, "Do you know of a man by the name of Akiva, who was a tax collector? His wife's name was Shushbina?" To which the man replied, "Of course I know who that was. Akiva the tax collector? May his bones rot in his grave. His wife, may her name be obliterated from this world." And yes, he did have a child. He had a son, an uncircumcised son. He never got a bris milah. Akiva heard the information, and he found the child. And he turned to the child, and he told him of his experience meeting his father. And he told the child, "I will circumcise you, I will give you a bris milah. And I will teach you how to read the Aleph Beis and how to say the Kaddish prayer." And sure enough, Rabbi Akiva circumcised the young boy. He fasted for 40 days, and then a bas kol, a heavenly voice, said to Rabbi Akiva, "Okay, now go and teach." And he sat down with the young child and he taught him the Aleph Beis, and he taught him how to say the Kaddish. A little while after that, the man appeared to Rabbi Akiva in a dream, and he said to Rabbi Akiva, "May it be the will of Hashem that you shall have a great reward in the next world, for you saved me from the afflictions of Gehenna." And with that, the stipler going turned to the young child, and he said to the child, "Do you see the power of a Kaddish? Do you see what it can do for the soul of someone who passed away? Do you know how much your father wants you to say the Kaddish? It would be the greatest thing that you can do for him." And with that, the child left, and indeed went on to say the Kaddish for the entire year that it was necessary for him to say Kaddish for his father.
With Chevra Lamdei Mishnah, everybody gains. The family member gains. The deceased gains. The Torah scholar gains. Everybody gains.
To benefit the soul of your loved one with one of Chevra Lamdei Mishnah's many programs, call 732-364-7029 or visit our website at chevralamdeimishnah.org.